Hello, my name is Marvarid. I'm a student of Tashkent State University of Economics. Today, I'm explaining Chapter 3, Interdependence and the Gains from Trade. At first, this chapter looks simple, but it explains something fundamental, why none of us is self-sufficient and why that's actually a good thing. Think about the normal morning, the coffee you drink, the phone you use, the clothes that you wear. You didn't make any of them. Yet your life works because millions of strangers socialize and trade. This chapter explains why this system exists and why it makes people better off. Imagine a simple economy with two people and two goods, meat and potatoes, both measured in kilograms. Frank is a farmer, Robert is a rancher. Each works 8 hours per day. Frank can produce 1 kg of potatoes in 50 minutes or 1 kg of meat in 60 minutes. If he spends all day on potatoes, he produces 32 kilograms of potatoes. If he spends all day on meat, he produces 8 kg of meat. Ruby is more productive. She can produce 1 kg of potatoes in 10 minutes or 1 kg of meat in 20 minutes. In 8 hours, she can produce 48 kg of potatoes or 24 kg of meat. Without trade, each person consumes exactly what they produce. Frank might consume 16 kg of potatoes and 4 kg of meat, while Ruby consumes 24 kg of potatoes and 12 kg of meat. Now they specialize in trade. Frank focuses only on potatoes and produces 32 kg. Ruby focuses mostly on meat. They agreed to trade 15 kg of potatoes for 5 kg of meat. After trade, Frank consumes 70 kg of potatoes and 5 kg of meat. Ruby consumes 27 kg of potatoes and 30 kg of meat. Both consume more of both goods without working more hours. That increase in consumption is the gain from trade. Without trade, each person consumes exactly what they produce. Their production facilities frontier is also their consumption frontier. Frank chooses some point on his PPF, say 16 kg of potatoes and 4 kg of meat. Ruby chooses a point on her PPF, say 24 kg of potatoes and 12 kg of meat. This is life without trade, stable but limited. Now, Ruby proposes a deal. She suggests specialization. Frank should focus on only potatoes. Ruby should focus mostly on meat. Then they trade. Frank produces 32 kg of potatoes. Ruby produces mostly meat and a small amount of potatoes. They exchange meat for potatoes at an agreed rate. After trade, something powerful happens. Both Frank and Ruby end up consuming more meat and more potatoes than before. This is the key visual moment. On the diagram, their consumption point moves outside their original production facilities frontier. Without trade, that was impossible. With trade, it becomes reality. This is the first big conclusion of the chapter. Trade allows people to consume beyond what they can produce on their own. Now we return to the earlier puzzle. Ruby is better at everything. How does Frank still matter? First, we define absolute advantage. A person has an absolute advantage if they can produce a good using fewer inputs. In this case, Ruby needs less time to produce both potatoes and meat. She clearly has an absolute advantage in both goods. But absolute advantage alone doesn't explain trade. If it did, the strongest or fastest people would do everything and trade would collapse. That's not how the world works. To understand trade, we need opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is what you give up to get something. For Ruby, producing 1 kg of potatoes takes 10 minutes. In that same 10 minutes, she could have produced 0.5 kg of meat. So the opportunity cost of 1 kg of potatoes for Ruby is 0.5 kg of meat. For Frank, producing 1 kg of potatoes takes 15 minutes. In that time, he gives up only 0.25 kg of meat. This difference is everything. Even so, Ruby is better at producing potatoes. She gives up more meat to do it. Frank gives up less. This leads us to comparative advantage. A person has a comparative advantage if they can produce a good at a lower opportunity cost. Frank has a comparative advantage in potatoes. Ruby has a comparative advantage in meat. And here is the most important sentence in the chapter. People should specialize according to comparative advantage, not absolute advantage. When each person specializes in the good where they have comparative advantage, total production increases, the economic pie gets bigger. Frank produces more potatoes, Robbie produces more meat. Through trade, they share the gains. Each person buys the good they want at a price lower than their own opportunity cost. That's why both benefit. Trade isn't charity, it's mutual advantage. For trade to work, the price must lie between opportunity costs. In this example, Frank's opportunity cost of 1 kg of meat is 4 kg of potatoes. Ruby's is 2 kg of potatoes. Any price between 2 and 4 kg of potatoes per kg of meat allows both to gain. If the price is outside this range, trade breaks down. Both people want to buy or both want to sell. No exchange happens. So, trade only occurs when prices reflect comparative advantage. The same logic applies to countries. Even if one country is more productive overall, trade still benefits both sides because opportunity costs differ. Countries export goods where they have comparative advantage and import goods where others do. Trade isn't a competition where one side wins and the other loses. It's a system that allows higher total production and higher consumption. This chapter explains why interdependence isn't a weakness but a strength. We specialize, we trade, and we consume more than we could alone. The entire global economy rests on this simple idea: do what you give up the least, trade for the rest.